Good morning. Today is Wednesday, 26 October 2022. Being a birdwatcher, I read an interesting article about the plight of vultures in India. And then the other day on Woman's Hour, I heard about the plight of dung beetles in the UK. Both of these stories made me think how good intentions and short-term kind actions can sometimes lead to long-term and serious problems. India has some of the strongest animal protection laws in the world, and there is a cultural and religious reverence for all creatures. All animals are treated with reverence, and when I went to Delhi and we were driving down the main road to Agra on a big dual carriageway, it was astonishing to see a dog asleep on the side of the road, causing the traffic to have to veer around it. Nobody stopped to move the dog. It was accepted that it had a right to sleep there. Cows, of course, are at the top of the hierarchy for reverence, and they wander about the cities and towns, as well as the countryside, sometimes in quite big numbers. In one small town, I had seen a souvenir I wanted to buy, but when I went back to the shop, as I walked towards the door, a cow walked across the door and stood looking at me, munching away. I had to get back to a minibus with fellow travellers in about 15 minutes, but I knew I could not hurry the cow on its way. This just simply is not done. So I had to wait till the cow took a couple of steps forward, then looked up at me again and munched for a while longer. And then it went forward a bit more and a bit more until finally I could get past its back legs. Interestingly though, I learned something from this. I could see great lessons from cows wandering about, in that it makes you stop and pause, and also deflates your ego if you think you're more important than a cow. The Indians love their cows, and in the 1980s, diclofenac, an anti-inflammatory medication, was used extensively to help arthritic pain in cows. Dead cows are a staple food for vultures, but when the cows die, diclofenac left in the tissue is so toxic to vultures that 99% of them died. After research showed that this was the case, diclofenac was outlawed in 2006. Unfortunately, alternative drugs, ketoprofen and numisolide, have turned out to also be toxic to vultures. And because of the difficulty in enforcing the law, diclofenac still accounts for about 30% of the anti-inflammatory drugs given to cows. The population of vultures has been reduced from 40 million in the 1980s to about 20,000 in 2017. This is tragic for these magnificent creatures. Vultures are amazing creatures. And 2 out of the 3 species are now highly endangered. But it has also led to a massive increase in the feral dog population because of the increased access dogs have to cattle carcasses. There are up to about 70 million feral dogs in India now, and they spread distemper to wild canids, such as jackals, wolves and foxes. But they also spread distemper to the felines, including tigers, leopards and jungle cats, which further endangers their already struggling status. India now has the highest incidence of rabies in the world, with 20,000 rabies deaths a year, 96% as a result of dog bites. This major ecological disaster has been caused by acts of kindness to the cows, but a lack of vision, even when the knowledge was there, of the long-term problems caused. In the UK, our 60 species of dung beetle, which are vital for tidying up our countryside, are under pressure from some farming practices, but also strongly from dog lovers who let their dogs' feces lie in the countryside. It appears the systemic insecticides used to treat ticks and lice remain in feces and kill the dung beetles when they eat and bury the feces. It seems picking up dog poo is even more important than we might think. I love dogs, by the way, but we do need to do what we can do to stop this problem. Let's read Proverbs 3 5-7. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Let us pray. Loving God, help us to understand that we only have a limited vision and to always act with caution, doing our best to think of the long-term effects of our actions. And this is particularly pertinent now with climate change issues. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.